Hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games. Today we are back in Empires of the Undergrowth, and well, I have been in two minds about what to try. There have been some suggestions that maybe I should play something with the termites, but I would have liked to do another article or try to replicate another article like we did last week. Unfortunately, I could not find an article in time that really was worth testing. So what we are going to be doing today, and I'm sure you saw that in the thumbnail as well, we are going to be playing as the Matabele Ants. And I really love the Matabele Ants. And we are going to be playing against two very different termites. We are going to be playing against the exploding termites, and we are going to be playing against the normal harvester termites, the Macrotermes bellicosus. Now the reason I'm doing this is because in the area where the Matabele ants occur, there are no exploding termites. They occur in the New World. They don't occur in Africa where the Matabele ants are. However, the exploding termites, their strategy or their soldiers with the snapping jaws, is actually a very good defense mechanism against ponerine ants, which the Matabele ants are. So I want to see how good are they at withstanding us as the Matabele ants. So let's jump right in, shall we? We're going for a free play again. I have given our ants a bit of a buff here. Of course, we've got the Royal Decree and Second Wind, and we've got Aggressive Brood and Nimble for our workers. And then our Fast Responder medics here, they've got Preserve and their Field Medic there. And then, of course, the soldiers are here as well. And then both the termite species will have Royal Guard and Fierce Mother. And then, of course, here are exploding termites. They've got rapid maturity for the workers that can go boom. And they've got extreme toxins for those workers as well. And, of course, they've got the relevant soldiers as well. We're just going to have these three. It's us against the two termites. We're going to be hopefully harvesting them continuously. Of course, we are going to be on the grasslands map here. And because I generally do suck at the game, let's put it on medium difficulty, shall we? So what we're going to have here, though, is we're going to have two species of termites competing for resources. There's going to be interspecific competition there, and it'll be interesting to see whether these exploding termites actually will use the exploding ability of their workers to actually chase away the workers of these normal Macrotermes bellicosus, the normal termites, so that they can feed in areas by excluding these other ones. It'll be very interesting to actually see that. Alright, I think it is all right. Let's jump right in, shall we? And here we are. Okay, so, of course, first things first, let's dig out some food here and dig out a nice tunnel to our entrance over there. Alright, we've got a whole bunch of workers. I mean, that is the first thing we really need, is a whole bunch of workers. We've got 3 soldiers as well. We should be ready, hopefully we are ready. We actually take out whatever is hiding over here. There should be some termites, there should maybe some earwigs, and a whole bunch of food for us. Will really help us get our colony up and running. So let's see. Yeah, we've got a few earwigs, 2 adults and 2 small ones here. And they are just no match for us. Now for the first time, I'm actually going to be using the workers of the Matabele ants, because last time we played as the Matabele ants, I completely forgot that these guys can be great for just transporting food. Let's just have a look and see what it looks like in the big bad world above. There we go. Okay, so here we are. We've got some tiger beetles running around. Okay, termites doing their thing. Okay, these will be the new Capritermes, the exploding termites. They're just doing their thing, it seems, over here. And then here we've got the Macrotermes bellicosus as well, the normal harvester termites. And here we go, another chamber just to open up this chamber of secrets. Let's see what we've got inside. Oh, a whole bunch of termites. Oh dear, this may end poorly for us. I did not realize there would be so many termites in here. But there's also a lot of food, so if we can just break through this, everything will be perfect. Okay, now I think we are going to do this. Of course, the Matabele ants, really specialist termite hunters. Very powerful sting. Apparently it burns like hell. Don't want to actually be stung by them. And then, of course, there we go. Killing termites with a few stings. Okay, now what we have are a whole bunch of termites actually doing their thing up here. Collecting food. We also have a whole bunch of tiger beetles. We will just have to try and get rid of those. That one just died instantly because it basically had no health. But then we've got our soldiers. Now initially just killing a bunch of termites, and then the workers coming in and actually picking them up. And the soldiers are there to protect our workers. Yeah, they do quite well against the ferocious tiger beetles. 2 more coming through. 3 more. A whole bunch of tiger beetles up here. Now a whole bunch of tiger beetles. There's even one right at the entrance here. but stands no chance against our Ponerine ants, against our Matabele ants here. Now it is starting to become dusk now, so we should expect these termites to really start becoming active again now, because, well, the Macrotermes bellicosus here, they are a bit vulnerable to the sunlight. Not sure whether these new Capritermes, these exploding termites, are also vulnerable to the sunlight, but, well, they are becoming a little bit more active as well. You can see here these ones. Oh, food stores are full. Okay, we have to quickly increase that. Oh, there we go. A whole bunch of termites just spawned from this area over here. Not sure why. Maybe it is because we are constantly killing them. But there were some soldiers even in there. That was brilliant. This is a rival colony, not even our colony. It's just spawning termites for us to come and feed on the dead plant matter over here. Of course, the tritivores, they really are feeding on a whole bunch of dead plant matter. Okay, so the exploding termites, they are just gathering over here close to their nest. What are these Macrotermes doing? They are... Okay, these are also new Capritermes. These are still also the exploding termites. Oh, goodness me, there's a bit of a war going on here. I really should have actually come to see what's happening here. Look at all these dead termites. Wow. Okay, in the meantime, the Macrotermes here, they are just collecting food here close to their nest as well. Everybody just doing their own thing at the moment. Except, oh, these new Capritermes, these exploding termites are getting very, very close. They're also trying to feed here. They're getting very close to the nest of the harvester termites. You know what I think it is? I think it is termitocide time. Because these exploding termites are just doing a little bit too well. They're basically just starting to outcompete, I think, the Macrotermes bellicosus. I mean, look at there's a little Macrotermes bellicosus, but look at all... Where are they now? Over here. Yeah, there they go. There goes the exploding termites. They're invading the Macrotermes nest. So a bit of serious interspecific competition happening there. And we as... Oh, look at that. They also exploded against the Macrotermes there. And we as the predators, we've got a very important ecological role to fill here. We've got to try and actually restore some balance here. So let's get rid of some of these exploding termites. They're not actually fully loaded yet. And we're going to suppress these termites, these exploding termites. Oh, they did explode there against me. And we've got a fierce response by these new Capritermes, by these exploding termites. There's a worker that can explode and boom, rupturing. And it kind of surprises us and we run away a bit. Run away! Okay, we actually have to take our medics and just put them in squad 3. We just want them reviving our soldiers. Oh, there's a big praying mantis here. Okay, we've got to defend ourselves a bit. So let's come and attack this one over here. This big praying mantis. Oh, wow, okay. Stands no chance against us, and it's dead. And a whole bunch of soldiers, of course, responding to the call of the new Capritermes, of these exploding termites, and a whole bunch going to explode, and boom. Kind of befuddles us. It's very interesting that we do not have exploding termites in Africa, not at least not that we know of. So there are no records of them actually doing this in Africa. And I've honestly got no idea why. Oh, look, the harvester termites are actually counter-attacking. Okay, you're like, okay, fed up with these guys, and now you're coming, and now we are caught in the crossfire. Why? Why did you do this to us? We're just doing a tactical retreat here, though. Shame we're losing a whole bunch of soldiers there, but you know what? Our food is alright. There's a whole bunch of food quite close here to our nest as well, so we should be fine. Now, of course, we've got to check to see whether these Macrotermes bellicosus now go and outcompete the new Capritermes, the exploding termites. And look at that, there goes the exploding termites again. Are you guys going to now fight the harvester termites? Yes. Yes, you are. Meeting on the field of battle. And, of course, going to explode, rupturing, releasing that horrible substance there. Oh, you're just doing nothing there. You just died for nothing. Okay. And, of course, we've got this scorpion over here, the alligator sawback scorpion, the Hottentotta. And, yeah, it is also going to be no match for our Ponera ants here, our Matabele ants here. Just very quickly eradicated them. Now, let's see, how's it going with World War Termite? Well, lots and lots of death happening here. So let's see, all of them are kind of responding to one another. So the role of the predator in this case, although they don't do this consciously, it is to prevent any one species from dominating the landscape. If there were no predators, one of these two termite species would most likely outcompete the other one and result in just one species occurring in this landscape. However, with us being present, we are feeding on the one group, the harvester termites, then we are feeding on the other termites, the exploding termites, and then we are coming in and feeding on the harvester termites again. So we're never just over-exploiting one group, one species in this case, allowing both species here to actually coexist. That's what we are doing here. Unfortunately, it does seem, I was about to say that the exploding termites actually have the upper hand here, but it doesn't look like it. It looks as though these guys still have a bit of a response left in them. Maybe not enough though. Maybe not enough. I think the exploding termites are still doing too well. We need to knock them back a little bit more. Okay, well, now it does seem though that the harvester termites again have enough soldiers actually to protect themselves. So that's great news. But ooh, these guys are quite a big army. Alright, it's time to knock these exploding termites again. And the whole column goes marching to the termites. This is a very, very nice big column that we've got over here. This is marvelous. I'm hoping we can kind of knock these termites a bit, because they're getting a little bit too brave. And yeah, it looks like we've got a nice bunch of soldiers attacking the termites, and I don't think they've really stand a chance. If we wanted to, we could probably wipe out this colony now, but we're not going to. We are just here to thin the herd a bit. Wait a minute. Yeah. These are the guys that are coming back. These are still the soldiers of these exploding termites. For a moment I thought these harvester termites were counterattacking, but no, they are just focusing on getting food. Okay, you know what? I thought we had knocked them back sufficiently, but no, there's still a lot of them running around here. Maybe not enough to now go and attack these guys, the normal harvester termites, but enough nonetheless. So we've thinned the herd, but not excessively.
A few moments later.
Ooh, who's attacking whom? Oh, these guys, the new Capricorns. They were indeed attacking the harvester termites here. So the exploding termites haven't learned a lesson yet. So I guess we will need to come and teach them a lesson in a bit. Now, having a bunch of termites that does this well, I mean, that's actually great news for us as the Matabele Ants, because it does mean that, well, there's lots and lots and lots of food for us. It almost looks as though the harvester termites had a bit of a raid. Yeah, they definitely had a bit of a raid on the exploding termites. Didn't go well for them, but they did a bit of a raid. Yeah, now it's not going to go well for anyone, because look what is approaching. A whole swarm of Matabele Ants. I don't think even swarm is the right word. Maybe horde, maybe a railroad of Matabele Ants. Everybody is coming their way. They're busy fighting one another. And here comes the chaos. Of course, these workers, these exploding termite workers, are pretty pointless if they haven't gotten the ability yet to do the autothesis, you know, explode, self-sacrifice. We're actually accidentally fighting the wrong termites here. We don't want to fight these guys over here. We actually want to fight the exploding termites, which are coming from this side. You know what, so let's head on over to this side. Currently, we're just thinning everybody's numbers, though. There's even a spot of fighting happening up here. These termites here, the harvester termites, they're making the best of the opportunity to actually start harvesting a bit more, build up their resources, their food resources. Unfortunately, here come some more Neocapricorns. These guys are really, really aggressive. Okay, so it seems what we have seen here is a spot of interference competition, because these termites here, they really are fighting for control over the resources. This is not scramble competition where, you know, first come, first served. Instead, this really is, let's fight to the death. Let's see who has control over the resources. That's what's happening here. Okay, everybody retreat. The harvester termites are coming back. We want to give them the opportunity to actually fight their own battles. We don't want to accidentally kill all of them in the process of standing here. But you know what, there we go. Autothesis exploding, kind of hampering the other termites as well. And that is to a large extent what autothesis would be used for. It is used not necessarily against other termites, mostly against ants, like against us, the Ponerine ants here, the Matabele ants. But in this case, they are using autothesis, or the self-sacrifice, against other termite species as well. Oh, okay. Things are not going to look good here for the harvester termites. So what we are doing is we are just going to possibly try to slow the flow. We've just killed a whole bunch of harvester termites, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Ah, shame. I was going to say we're just trying to stem the flow of the exploding termites, but in the meantime, we just did more harm to our poor little Macrotermes bellicosus here. So interesting to note though that when these two species meet, what we have here at least in the game is that, well, the exploding termites will outcompete the harvested termites. They are really constantly on the back foot, these guys. Maybe it has to do with the fact that they are fungus farmers and they've got a slower turnover rate. Okay, let's just move back again because the Macrotermes, they're coming. Okay, there we go. Heading for the hill. And how are you doing now? Oh, you're actually invading quite nicely. But look at that force that's gathering around there. Now, as for why we don't actually have any autothytic species or self-sacrificing species in Africa, maybe that original mutation was just confined to the New World after South America had already split away from Africa. Even though we've got a lot of termite species in Africa and Asia and Europe and everywhere, basically, there are lots of termites everywhere. The only ones of the termites, at least, that really explode are in the New World termites. So most likely after South America split away from Africa and the rest of the world, they most likely developed the mutation to actually undergo autothesis, to actually accumulate the copper-containing compounds right over there in those special glands, and then to contract their muscles and burst their body, releasing those copper-containing compounds. Autothesis really is a very, very interesting mechanism of defending your colony. I mean, just with the simulation, it looks as though using autothesis would be a good strategy to actually use to outcompete other termites in the area. At least in the game simulation here, it appears to be a valid strategy to use. But as I said, maybe it is just because these Macrotermes are actually fungus farmers. They've got to gather food here, then they've got to go cultivate fungus, and then they have food available to use. Whereas these new Capritermes, not being fungus farmers, they just go in, collect food, and voila, they can field an army. So they are at a distinct disadvantage when it comes to waging war against the other species. So they are a bit more of a specialist, these harvested termites over here. And it's interesting to note, that is the one thing I did read recently. In the African savanna ecosystem, it almost seems as though amongst termites, the Macrotermes bellicosus, even though bellicosus means war-loving and they are very good fighters, they are quite low on the hierarchy of termite species. When it comes to looking at interspecific competition, they are outcompeted by many other termite species. Now, I do want to test in a moment whether we can actually attack the new Capritermes here, the exploding termites, and actually do a lot of damage to them, or whether it's going to be all fizzle no bang. Our army is about as upgraded as it can be, but I think I need another chamber. Now, we are just constantly under attack by these termites. They really are just swarming out of the woodwork, or in this case the groundwork. Now, we have been knocking these termites like it's going out of fashion, and yet look at that army. Just carrying on, and I guess they are immediately going to go wage war on these termites here, down here, the harvested termites. It looks like, oh, this could be, yeah, this is definitely interference competition. Look at those exploding termite workers bursting to chase away these harvested termite workers. Okay, well, technically they could have harvested this now, no problem, but they didn't. They're just going to wage war against them now. Okay. You guys do your thing, okay. We've got so many dead and dying Matabele ants over here, it's not even funny though. Oh, I just noticed that as we built our medics here, it was costing, it's like 396 food to place now, because our colony is too big. It's taking a lot of resources now to make new individuals. The upkeep, that is the upkeep cost. I forgot about the upkeep cost. I was like, why on earth is it costing so much to make a medic? It's supposed to be costing 75, but no. It is because, well, we've got a lot of individuals that we are making. And the ants go marching. The ants go marching all the way. Now, once I have enough food stored away, what I want to do is I want to see whether I can actually get rid of these new Capritermes, whether I am capable of actually defeating them, or whether that is just a pipe dream. Because so far I have actually kind of been holding back. I've just been hanging around the outskirts. I didn't want to over-harvest these guys. But technically, they do not belong here. Being a South American termite species, technically, it's our responsibility to remove them from this place. So that is what we are going to be doing. Now, interesting, this little bottleneck here really is screwing us over, if I can put it that way. Because, yeah, they are just constantly, they just stand here and fight to the death. Now, we've got a lot of medics coming in here. 38 medics, I believe, actually, a whole bunch more. 38 plus 6. That is going to be 54 medics that's currently doing the job here of just reviving the fallen soldiers. I think our army is quite big and probably big enough to actually take out these termites here, these exploding termites. I don't think they stand a chance against our final army. Well, maybe. Look at that. Look at that streaming there. Look at them streaming out of their nest. Now, eventually, they're most likely going to run out of food. The thing is, as they die, they lose food, and we gain food, technically. Now, we're even fighting on this front over here as well. So these guys were trying to still get some food, but they are going to eventually really run out of food. At the moment they do, we are going to be there to move in and eradicate them. And look at that, we have actually made it into the nest. Alright, wow, look at that nest. Now, of course, being the exploding termites, they don't have a fungus chamber, just have a place to store basically broken down plant material. They are capable of breaking down the plant material in their own bodies. So they just gather plant material and they basically just break it down. They will have both the enzyme within them to actually break down cellulose, so they'll have the cellulase enzyme, and they also have, I believe they will also have some microorganisms in their gut that will also help them break down the plant material. I mean, cattle and stuff like that, herbivores, mammalian herbivores, they can't break down cellulose. It's too complex compound and very energy intensive to actually break it down. But they don't have cellulase either. But the microorganisms in their gut, they do have the cellulase enzyme and they are able to break down cellulose. Cellulose is a very, very long polysaccharide, a bunch of sugars bunched together, forming this long, complex compound. Interesting that the termites here, mostly going for the whole hexagon is bestagon approach as well. Really makes sense. I have built one chamber over there, which is kind of behind this one. But anyway, let's ignore that little bit over there. But really quite a cool design. They were going for another big chamber over here. And unfortunately, I think we have kind of stopped their expansion into this area because currently they're just spending all their soldiers repelling us. But we have made it into their nest. Okay, so let's finish this. Let's finish what we started. We have got a whole bunch of medics and workers and soldiers and everybody coming along here. These Macrotermes bellicosus, they are just doing their thing, collecting as much food as they possibly can. Now, making the best of this lull in the competition with the other termites. So, for the longest time today, they've just been fighting for survival. And now, finally, there's a bit of a reprieve. Now, finally, we are taking the fight to these competitors of the other termite colony, and we are basically going to be wiping them out now. Now, whether this is a good thing, good strategy to use, that is entirely up to you, but I don't think one really should be taking on... Oh, there we go, the Royal Guard has been summoned. We now may be screwed a little bit. As well, all the eggs have now hatched, it seems as well. Ooh, this is a hectic thing. Now, the thing is, all the eggs hatched, but all the workers are kind of weak. They're useless, they're not explodey yet. So they don't have the compounds, they haven't matured to have the compounds yet. Yes, sure, there are lots of them. Look at those big ones that have hatched as well, like super workers. But in essence, they are doomed. They are absolutely doomed. They stand no chance. Oh, and look at that, even the other termites are now invading. Okay, let's fall back, guys. Let's leave them to it. Here these guys go. I think they should be able to finish this now. Okay, this is our last soldier. It is gone, and we are not going to see the final, or the end result there, but I think we are going to very soon see 1 out of 2 queens dead. Yeah, I think that went well. And there we go, the queen is dead. Long live this queen. After spending the entire episode on the back foot. The Macrotermes bellicosus finally managed to be the victors over their suppressors. Now, of course, all these termites, they can come in and they can eat the plant matter that is all over the surface here. No more competition for resources. They can just do their thing, which really is amazing for them. Okay, and our food stores obviously are full. Look at all those dead termites over there, and look at all our Matabele ants here. I think this was a fun episode. It was quite fun to look at the termites and whether the one species can outcompete the other. If it weren't for us, I'm pretty sure these harvester termites would have been knocked back seriously by those exploding termites. I don't think they would have stood a chance, actually. So it really is quite cool, knowing also that the new exploding termites can be surprisingly effective. Alright, so if you've got any comments and suggestions of what I should try next, please drop it down in the comments below. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me on our little adventure here. Hope you had a bit of fun. I had a lot of fun in this little episode as well. Of course, on Friday, I'll have another Monster Hunter World episode coming out, where I'll be running around the Wildspire Waste, looking at a bit of the desert environment there and the organisms we can see there. And of course, until next time, everybody, stay safe. I will see you all soon. Cheers!